In your second body paragraph, what you're going to be doing now is acknowledging that there is a counterclaim, that there is another side to the issue. You're going to give a little bit of evidence to prove that their ideas are valid, but ultimately you're going to come back and you're going to prove them wrong. So let's say that our claim, our thesis, was texting may be a convenient way to communicate. However, texting can have dangerous effects on teens. Their counterclaim is going to have to prove that texting is convenient and really that it's not dangerous. But our job is now going to be that we're going to prove that wrong. So let's say that our counterclaim looks like this. On the other hand, some may argue that texting is a convenient mode of communication and that there are ways to keep teens safe. I'm going to give one quote that proves that there are ways that we can keep teens safe with texting. Right? Notice that bolded here, I've given a transition that shows that I'm giving the other side of the issue. Now I'm going to lead into that piece of evidence from the other side. Okay, for example, voice to text is one convenient way of communicating that takes the risk out of texting while driving. Here's the solution that they've been able to offer. I'm going to go ahead and find one piece of evidence that proves that other side of the issue. Another article states that voice to text helps to reduce the risk of texting related car crashes. Now, notice that I don't have quotations around this. That would suggest that this is paraphrased and that I put it into my own words, but I still need to cite it with the author. I gave the page number because I took this from a journal and not from a website, so I did find this on page number 1. Now I'm going to explain how this proves their point, and I'm going to use a strategy called if-then. Basically, we're saying if something happens, then this will be the result. So, some cell phone companies are helping decrease the problem. They're giving voice to text. If the driver does not need to type out their response, there's my if, then they'll be able to keep their attention on the road. Okay, so if something happens, then this is going to be the result. This is going to keep me from just repeating the evidence, and it helps me elaborate on the point that I'm trying to make. Now, in this paragraph, I need to come back and prove how this is wrong, right? I'm either going to prove that it's flawed or I'm going to come back with better evidence that really shoots them down. So I'm going to use a transition. However, despite their efforts to provide safe options, voice to text is not always a safe alternative. So I'm going to prove that this is not actually safe. I've given a piece of evidence here. According to the AAA Foundation, potentially unsafe mental distractions can persist for as long as 27 seconds after dialing, changing music, or sending a text using voice commands. Okay, this proves that this doesn't keep kids safe at all, right? I'm going to use that same strategy over here. It is clear that if a person uses voice text, then their attention is still not fully focused on the road. Now notice I'm going to use a conjunctive adverb to really prove my point. Therefore, even with voice to text, there is a dangerous risk for distracted drivers. So in my explanation, I'm giving that if something happens, then this will be the consequence. Therefore, I win. I've proved my point. Okay. I'm going to do that one more time with another piece of evidence. Okay. I'm going to lead into it. I'm going to give a quote that proves my point, and then I'm going to explain it. Okay, notice again, I'm going to use a conjunctive adverb. Okay, even with voice to text, our minds take time to readjust. Consequently, teens are still at risk of making many of the careless mistakes that could occur if using traditional text. All right, so I've given one piece of evidence to support the counterclaim. This is so that I can make sure that I am fairly saying that there is another side to the issue. But I've given 2 quotes now to refute it and prove them wrong. Now I'm ready to conclude my paragraph with that concluding sentence. Clearly, even though some people think texting can be safe, texting continues to have dangerous effects on teens. So I've linked it back to that topic sentence up top.